Good morning. That's the
Good
voice today.
morning.
Good morning.
Wait, I thought I heard a news anchor. Good morning and welcome to
Welcome to Me Moment in the Morning.
Me
Today,
Moments in
we
the
have,
Morning. Somebody make me a song. I need a theme song.
be like, back
We
to
don't
you,
have a
Tracy and
calabash.
Norton Spirit.
We don't have a
Back
calabash
to you.
song.
A Calabash song? I don't know one.
Ooh, that's a
We'll
challenge
have to
right there. Go
find
look.
some.
You
We'll have
know,
to
and it's a shame because the calabash has a lot of mass to it that is thrown out just to make the little shell. So nature
Mm.
doesn't spend all that time making something like that for nothing. So
Yeah.
hello.
All the
All
goodies.
right. Good morning,
Here we
goddesses.
are.
Here we are. Hey,
Ooh,
Alice.
Alessandra is
Alice is here with
here.
us first thing in the morning. Welcome
Morning,
all to Meet
morning. Grand
Moments in the
Rising.
Morning. Woo, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So this is see us doing it again.
Hey,
Having
no,
one of those
get into it.
mornings, y'all, but it's okay. But this for us is Tap In Tuesday. And
Mm.
Yes.
Ian Tuesday. But we got to tap into something, right? So today
Something.
I want to tap into color.
Mm.
Yes. I am in one of Mountain Spirit's classes, and it's Feeding the Light Body, and I'm enjoying learning more and more about the spectrum of color. Good
Mm.
morning, Goddess
Morning,
Tara. That is
Tara.
my sister.
Oh,
Girl.
welcome.
Glad you could be with us today. So, today we're tapping into color. Color has lots of power. Um, oh gosh, I think I just want to kind of pass the look. I got to pass the mic. I'm gonna
Oh
pass
no,
the mic
no,
around Spirit
no,
just to talk.
no.
Yes, we got to talk about color
Yeah.
today. Hey,
Mountain
Auntie
spirit.
Joyce.
And here I am trying to blend in. I deliberately wore gray. I don't think y'all have ever seen me in gray.
I
I
didn't
said,
even know you know
I
how
did
to do
it
that.
with my purple.
I said, if even my drawers is gray, but I can't show it to you because this is like a for kids can be
No,
watching, right?
blend in.
Yes.
Um, we don't want to discourage anyone from aging in their gender. So I don't wear gray. It's just not a color. But in honor of the recognition of color, I chose to find every gray in my wardrobe, and it
Hmm.
wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and it's probably because I'm a Black Caribbean, because we're just, we just like colorful folk, we just like really colorful people. But the reason it got to be that way, my ancestors tell me, is because we're all children of Africa, and in Africa color was actually a language. Like in our original ancestral African condition, color was a language that we spoke, since there were so many different, like thousands of different languages throughout the continent. When a nation would see another nation's color, there was an understanding there,
Mm.
that there was relationship, that there's like kinship, that there's a history. And I believe, I can't quote, I'm not Japanese, but I believe from what I understood with Akira Kurosawa is that in the Japanese ancient culture, that was similar, where they would wave their flags, would just usually have a slash of a brush of color, no symbol really, just dots or something, but it was the color that spoke to people. So what it's teaching me is like it's an original language,
Hmm.
and we discovered sound and all these other sensations, right, that we
Yeah.
communicate with, and we forgot about the original language. So you're just going to permit me like 30 seconds of rant about this, because
Please do. Please do.
what happened was, it occurred to me that we're human.
Mm.
Hue. What is a hue?
You.
Color.
You.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yes. Yes.
color. And we're man. So this union, this temporary union of these components, right? The spiritual being having the human physical experience.
Yeah.
That's human. So there's a hue and there's a man. And when we come together, that's what causes that friction,
Yeah.
causes the arising of the third component, which is who we are here right now. But we have the hue and we have the man, right? So when we die, those three pieces separate. But anyway, the hue is an acquired term, you could say, because how did we come to call it that? You
Mhm.
know, when it was translated from ancestral language into now, it still retained that implication that it is a color. It is something that you could see. But originally, we were telepathic. We were metaphysical. We understood those two worlds, right? We have come more and more and more into the physical. That's what we have to keep remembering. We are this spiritual being having a human experience. So the colors play a tremendous part in our human evolution, more than we think.
Mm.
You know, we've come to belittle it, but it is our original language. So the question is, right, what hue are you?
Yeah, that's the
What hue
question.
do you want to be? So I just have like 6 lines here, less maybe. I just wanted to share about the colors, right?
Yes.
You don't have to remember them, but you can watch the show again. So red, these are the language terms: passion, love, anger, fire, etc. Right? It shares it with orange and yellow. Orange is the color of energy, happiness, and vitality.
Mm.
Yellow is also happiness to a higher vibration, but with hope. But it's also the color of deceit, which is interesting because in the tarot deck, the element of air, when it comes up ill dignified in the high numbers, it's an indication of deceit, whether you're lying to yourself or you're lying to others. So remember that if you don't know how to read the tarot, you see a bunch of yellow cards, you know something happened, right? So the color green is for new beginnings, right? Creativity, for birth, abundance, and for nature. We can all relate to this. The color blue is a calm,
Mhm.
responsible, but also sadness, because that's where the blues come from with black people.
Ah.
Purple has the implication of creativity, royalty, wealth. And if you're noticing, it's moving in the vibrational frequencies of the different chakras that have the different psychic
Yeah.
gifts, right? Um, we also have black. In our ancestral African tradition, black is a color. Somewhere along the line, it was removed, and it had symbolism. And this is the color of elegance and mystery.
Ooh.
You didn't know that, did you?
Mm,
So
mm-mm.
today I have gray, which is conservative and formal. So I'm
Oh.
Okay.
keeping my hues to the back here, and pushing forward the meaning and symbolism of all the different colors. So
Nice.
there you go.
That's
Mm.
nice. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
And I think about, like, as you were talking, I was like, wow, and describing the different colors. I'm thinking, wow, those are colors. That's a color that makes me feel powerful. That's a
Mm.
color that makes me feel, so think about how you feel. And
Mhm.
here's a question: what's your power color?
Mm.
Color that makes you feel powerful,
Yeah.
when you wear it. Yes, I love it. I
That's a
love
good
it.
Yeah,
one.
that's beautiful, Tracy, because we have separated so much from ourselves, or what ourselves are really saying and wanting, that we can't hear. Like, you have to listen hard into
Mhm.
yourself to find out what color gives you power.
Yeah.
That's an
Mhm.
excellent exercise to, like, really getting in touch with your core self. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might find, I told my granddaughter I had a favorite color, and she said I thought it was purple, and I'm like, what the hell does this 6-year-old kid know about my color?
Right.
And but then something in my head said, "Well, ask the little monkey why.
Why? Right?
Like, why would you say that, little one?" And she said, "Because every time we go to the store and every time we buy anything, you always pick what's purple. I always know what you're going to pick because you always take the purple one." I was like, "Damn,
Mm.
they're watching everything." So I guess purple is my favorite color.
Yeah. See?
Wow.
See? Yeah. My favorite color has always been green, but there are periods in my life where I feel like I go through I don't know, like like a song, I have a theme song for everything. So it's almost like a theme color, like the theme color of my life. So right now it's the turquoise, orange, and purple.
Mhm.
The
Mm.
turquoise, of course, for the healing, the orange for all of the things that you said, and creativity and all of that. And then the purple, um, just because it always made me feel good, or
Mhm.
um, it's a power color for me. And
It
so
is.
I've always just kind of tapped into color. Hi, Alicia Goddess, Grand
Hey,
Rising.
Alicia.
Hey.
Belinda is here. Belinda's favorite color is also purple and
Purple
black.
and black.
Yes, you
Black.
see, she
All
knows black is
right.
a color.
See?
Yeah, you
See?
see how they, so you see how they duped us,
Red.
Belinda. Got
Ooh,
it.
Alicia's like red.
Black is not a color. Alicia, yes, the
Right,
color red,
Alicia.
girl.
I
That's
don't know
beautiful.
if you
That's like,
saw.
that is so grounding. The red. That is
Yes,
so
Yeah.
grounding. Yeah. Take care.
yes.
Take care of the health of your blood. If that's your color, that means you came here to do something that's gonna call on that color. Yeah.
See,
You're gonna need it.
Do it.
see,
Beautiful. Yeah.
Do the color. Oh,
see.
that's a fun one. That is
That
fun.
is, that is.
Yeah.
What
What
about
color
you?
are we
So
up to in feeding the light body? I don't forget.
Green, black, and red in that order.
we just,
Alexander.
I
Green.
believe we're at green or blue.
I think we're up to green, but we haven't
Green,
done the live for blue yet. That's what's happening.
right,
Mm,
Yeah.
right. Green, black, and red in that order, Alice.
But I did miss a color though, I think.
What color?
Well, the blue and the purple, and from blue upwards, blue, indigo, and violet have,
Hmm.
mm,
have very similar properties, only on a higher and more acute frequency. Like they
Okay.
all have to do with the higher psychic senses. You know, clairvoyance, up from audience, right?
Mhm.
Clairvoyance. What are the other clairs, guys?
Audience sentience.
Oh, yeah, clairsentient, clairvoyance, and I forgot what the other one
What
was.
they just kind of went.
It's just
Val and I were just talking about that. It's
well,
like
because I don't want to deviate the conversation. I just meant to say that those three
no,
colors are clustered in the same,
all in the same, yeah.
yeah, except just higher. It's like the same note, only a higher pitch. That's all.
hmm hmm
Yeah. No, those are great. All the clear.
All the clairs up there.
Yeah.
If you got a clair up there,
Marie, what were you gonna say about the colors?
Oh no, I was reading green, black, and red for
Alice.
Alexander. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I think people truly, that's one thing. It's so interesting how they may not pay attention to it. And sometimes I also realize you may have a favorite color when someone asks, but then also thinking about how you feel when you wear or see different colors,
yeah.
because one might be a favorite, but then you like, but I also look at how what I project in certain color. And so for my personality, I would purposely for a long time stay away from red. And then when I wear red, it was just like, and it's almost like I purposely do it now because I know I want to do the reverse. So I want to be gray most of the time. But in a period of my life, I'm like, I cannot be that. So I'm like, I'm gonna do that as a way to propel myself to
Mhm.
be more bold and to be that light where it's like you can't hide. Like this is it.
Mhm.
So be that symbolically, but also be that in terms of how I'm living and being. And so that allows me to do it. But I also fluctuate between the three. So I tend to do red, orange, and yellow.
Yeah.
And green I do almost as a foundation where it's like it's always there. So green is always present, as you can see, in my space. So wherever you go, it's like it's naturally there, almost like
Mhm.
it's neutral, but it's really not neutral. But it complements everything that you
Yeah.
may think
Yeah.
of. And then sometimes I blend them, so you'll still see the orange and the red, or you see the yellow and something else. And then the turquoise is there too. Like I literally fell in love in New Mexico because of turquoise. I went to the turquoise museum, got everything, and it feel very earthy to me, and it
hmm
goes well with other things that I love, like coral. And so you can also see how they complement each other and to mix them up. And so I can understand the people who are like, I got three, or you have multiple
Mhm.
Right.
that
Right.
it varies in terms of
You're right. Yeah.
where you at, so
Yeah.
sometime it might be that one and another time you like, but black is interesting because I wore black for a long time, for like years, because of a line of work I was in. And then once that was done, I'm like, I will not wear black that many times a week ever again. And I will not take any other role where that's a requirement. If I feel
Mhm.
like it, I do see it as a grounding color where it's like I would do, let's say I'll do a black jacket and then everything else will be white. So
Right.
it's still
Right.
there, but I
Mhm.
cannot do all black. It just does something to me now where I'm just like, I will not
Yeah.
do it.
I
Um,
understand that. Wow, that makes a lot of sense because and you put a very good question forward. Then the question is, what question are you asking when you're answering in color, right?
mm-hmm.
Because what you give off and what your light body needs are not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the color that's absent that we are responding to when we're feeding the light body. But the absent color, if a color is leaking and it's excessive and it'll come out maybe too much, it'll be like you'll be totally red. There's like too much red.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's the color that needs balancing, but it doesn't necessarily need to be fed any more red.
Right.
So there's a whole science behind that, and you're right. They've gotten muddled in that we think that because we see those of us who can see colors, because we see a color, we think that's the person's color, when that may just be their excessive color. That's the color that
Hmm.
needs balancing, but it may not be the the color that they need to absorb. Maybe
Right.
you need the blue to
Mm-hmm.
to balance out that excessive purple or that
Yeah.
excessive other color. So the thing to know, I guess, is what question is being asked, right?
Yeah.
To know how to
Yeah.
answer. But the more difficult one to answer is the color that you need fed. It's easy to answer the color that you give off because you have your external environment
Mhm.
verifying that. Like my granddaughter, right? But the color that my life needs, because in my answer, my color was green. That's what my life needed. And you're right, Marie, it's at the time. At
Mhm.
the time, I was like longing, I was grieving, I was hungry. I needed, absolutely needed green. I needed all the heart
Yeah.
healing energy that I could find. So for me, my favorite color was green because it was to feed my light body. But the one I was giving off as being red was a different color.
Mm.
So it's an interesting topic for another discussion, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's always there, and also when you think of the work we do, so sometimes I remove myself from that. So depending on the space and what the event or the person is, also think of the color in terms of what do you want that person to feel. So it's
Mhm.
both you and the energy that you want to project, but also sometimes others seeing that color make them feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And so even though we don't talk about it, but like you said, there's a science to it, and some people use it intentionally because
Mhm.
they know if they see this, then they're gonna feel a certain way. If you want, trust in this and that, there's a particular color. So even though it's not your
Yeah.
favorite, you
Mhm.
have to almost put that aside and say, how do I want
Mhm.
that person to feel? How do you want your clients to feel? Like space is the same. Like depending on the line of work you in, what do you want people to feel when they just walk into that space? So it
Yeah.
can't be, for me, I can't paint the whole place red or
Right.
yellow because it would just, you know, trigger or conjure up like different feeling. And that's not the feeling I want them to be able to cultivate in that moment. And so you have to think about that balance. And then sometimes we move me from
Mhm.
what I need to feed myself, but thinking about the people coming in, what would I like them to feel just through that color on me or in the space itself?
Mhm. Well, chances are, right, if you're in your that color that Tracy was talking about, your power color, the color that fuels up your goddess, that makes her, emote and evoke loving energy,
Mhm.
that would be the color, right? Because
Yeah.
that's where your cup would overflow and actually feed the lives of those around you. I think that's a beautiful vision that you're putting out there, that to consider which color would transmit that loving energy to your immediate environment,
Yeah.
and chances are that that would be the color that
That
you
you're tapping into.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm. I love that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, as Marie's talking, I'm like, oh, have I ever done that? But usually it's what makes me feel like powerful or loving or giving, what color makes you feel good in the moment. So
Yeah.
definitely love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Love
it's
that.
it's it's
There's a
the
question.
altruistic. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
No, it's the altruistic approach through the self, right? It's
Yeah.
like me filling if I have children to breastfeed, it's me drinking the stout. It's me filling in my nutritional valves so that I have that
Yes.
nutrition.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
I guess it's the same with loving energy. So the color that my light body needs to fill up my breast, my
Mhm.
loving energy, then I
Mhm.
have to tend to that. And
Yeah.
Marie, really, really, you just described the entire basis of healing with the light body, because it's a
Mm.
self-healing course. It's learning how to use our own lives, and it's different for everybody, really. I discourage people from telling them, "Oh, you need to do orange now because this and that and the other thing." If you're really not like a serious light body worker, actually, you just shouldn't do it. I
I don't.
prefer to guide the person. No, because I found myself in that, and that's why I stopped doing it.
Mm.
It's better and more long lasting if you understand it yourself and you go into your own life. So in the course, everyone is at their own pace working with their own colors. It's the same information, the same formula,
Mhm.
but you're working with your own colors and you're not swayed by what other people are going through.
Oh yeah.
Because we're
Mhm.
all empaths. I mean, the course only attracts people who are seeking their psychic senses, right?
Mhm.
People who want to gain that sensitivity into the other world.
Yeah.
So it's a self healing exercise,
Mhm.
but you
Mhm.
have it with you, like it empowers
It's
you
there. It's there.
anywhere in
It's
the
only
world.
just bringing it out. Bringing
Right?
it out.
You don't have to do it every day or do it all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
You once you know it, it's like riding a bicycle. Next time you want to get from point A to point B, bam, hop on that bicycle and go.
You're there.
Mhm.
Right?
And I'm so glad you said that, because I am taking the course, and I'm like, well, I'm reading this one, but I am feeling a different color, and but I felt some kind of way, about, well, maybe I shouldn't, transition over and go to the other color because I'm trying to be obedient and go in order. So I love that you said that. And there's
It's like you have permission.
yes, I have
You have
permission
permission.
now. I can
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah. And then the other thing I would add is that people will tell you too, because a lot of time I would say I would shun away from the thing that would make you, again, it feels like you're getting attention. It's like for me. So I'm like, when you do those, but people react and they engage with you differently based on the color. And that's also a sign. But it has to be in
Mhm.
alignment in terms of, is it yours or is it all about getting attention? Because we all know, and it's true what you said, Mountain Spirit, like particularly as, when you think of your feminine um, divinity, you know those things because we do them as women. Where it's like there's certain situation you would like, well, I'm gonna choose that one based on what would you like. What are you trying to again convey? What are you trying to project? Again, weighty it and so forth. But it may not be. You may not think it's intentional, but it's consciously happening where you pick certain things based on the occasion, based on what you want out of it, and based on how you want, again, the other person or the people in that space to respond to you. Now, some
Yeah.
people have it naturally, and then others, like, they would need to know. Like Alicia's asking, how do you find out what your color is?
Oh, is that for us? Well,
How do you find
you
out?
can go into space and ask. In the retreats, what we do is we do an exercise where you close your eyes and see what colors come before you, and you just open up your inner eye, right, with your lids closed, and as the colors come, just check how
Hmm.
they hit your senses. Just
Mhm.
check how they hit your senses. If you're not visual that way, what you can do is just recollect something that's naturally orange or naturally red, and
Yeah.
see how they hit your senses. And if you
Mhm.
don't get a particular one, just welcome all of them and work with each color one by one. The last thing that I know, I'm sure there's more wisdom out there, is to look at your environment and squint your eyes and see what is greatest on the color palette. That is, if
Mhm.
you're living in your own environment that you've designed, like your own apartment, like if you shacked up with somebody, that's not really a good exercise. But if it's an environment that you have designed, just squint your eyes, and then all the colors will blur, and then you can see which one has more. Um, Exposure than the others, and you could start
Nice.
with that one.
I love that.
I
Thank
hope it
you.
helps.
And
Good
that's
advice. Hey, Tina.
wow, the time went really fast this
Flew
morning.
by.
Oh no, we
Yes.
just got
So
here.
what
My
happened?
battery's still full. Good.
So is my water, and I need to get some more in.
Get
Um,
more.
so I did put in the chat, and I'll put it here. There are several courses that you can take over at the Mountain Spirit Wellness Community School, and feeding the light body is one of them. And this Saturday we'll do another meetup because we're doing a live Q&A. So I'll invite you all. I'll make sure that I put the information in the chat. So if you want to be a part of that, again, I know some of you came before, and we did
Oh yeah.
basically we did the color red. So this
Yeah.
time we're working with the color blue. All right. So I'm so looking forward to that this Saturday. But go over, sign up to the course, sign up for the course, and actually, I have a coupon code for you, so I'll put that there. So
Well, the live is free.
the live is
The
free.
live is
Live is
free.
free, so
Yeah.
definitely come to that. Bring your questions about colors.
Mm,
Yes, we're talking about blue, but
yeah.
definitely if you have questions about other colors, definitely bring those with you. All right, my beautiful goddesses, we are heading over to Clubhouse. I'll put that link in here as well. For those of you who are not familiar, Clubhouse is an Audible social media app, and we get together each and every morning to share our gratitude, intention, and affirmation of the day. So please, 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 if you have the opportunity, definitely stop in, and let's continue a little bit of this conversation
Continue.
and share this morning. All right, there's your link. So, sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow
See
morning.
you next
Uh,
time.
Bye.